Hello, this is Kelsun Hussein with Assignment 1, Components of a Healthy School. So essentially the whole school, whole community, whole child model is a mixture of the whole child approach and the coordinated school health approach, which are both used to address health promotion in the schools. So the first is the whole child, which mainly focuses on the student and is included of 5 tenets. So the first one is each student enters the school healthy and learns about practicing a healthy lifestyle. And the next one involves each student learning in an environment that is physically and emotionally safe. Number 3 is each student is actively engaged in learning and is connected to the community and school. Each student has access to personalized learning and is supported by qualified, caring adults. Number 5 is each student is challenged academically and prepared for success in college and further studies for employment and participation in the global environment. So the next one is coordinated school health, which takes on a more system-based approach, and it is included with 8 different components. So the first being health education, which teaches students in school about choosing healthier alternatives. Physical education includes physical activity. School health services are another example, and healthy and safe school environment, which was also similar to the whole child approach. And number 5 is counseling, psychological and social services. 6 is family and community involvement. Next is health promotion for staff, and the last one is nutrition services. So the whole school, whole community, whole child model, also known as the WSCC, is basically a component that mixes both of these approaches and then adds on to it as well. Just to get a better look or better idea of what this would look like, here we see that the student is in the middle, and then we have healthy, safe, engaged, supported, and challenged components, which are all approaches involved in the whole child. And then outside of this, we have coordination of policy, process, and practice, which parents also play a role in this, for parents to coordinate together to try to work to promote policies that also promotes health and fitness and wellness in the schools. And then on the outside, we have 8 components of the coordinated health or coordinated school health, which is also on the outside. So it's basically the WSCC is a mixture, and then it also adds on, which includes policy, process, and practice. So the next thing that we would like to talk about is virtual healthy school, also known as VHS. The model includes different components of a school, like the cafeteria, gymnasium, playground, and nurse's office. The one that stood out to me was, based on the experience that I had, was the cafeteria. I thought about the school that I attended, and I tried to think about what part of the school had a huge influence on, or what could have had a large influence on the foods that I chose. And I would like to specifically talk about the cafeteria because for me personally, when I was in high school, I didn't, or even in elementary, or middle school, I don't remember seeing flyers around that give sort of advice or a list of healthy foods. And for high school especially, we were served fried foods daily. So we had a lot of unhealthy foods and a limitation on the healthy food choices that we had. And also we did have a healthy food choice, which was a salad bar that was served every day, but those who received free or reduced lunch had to pay the full amount. So for those who didn't have the financial means, they weren't able to purchase the salads. So even if they wanted to eat healthy, the money factor was a barrier. So here I would like to pay close attention to the clock. Right here we have a clock, so this represents the time that it takes for students to eat. believe it's 10 minutes for breakfast and around 20 minutes for lunch. And the nutritional poster right here, it says there's 3 different posters. So there's go, slow, and whoa. Go contains the foods that you can eat on a daily basis. These include like your fruits, vegetables, healthy foods. Slow is every once in a while. And the whoa is you should rarely eat, which includes like pop, sodas, sugary foods and things like that, and fried foods as well. Next, we have the water station. Over here, if you see the water station, this is a great component where students are able to easily access water. So instead of choosing juice or milk or just to stay away from like the sugary foods, water is a very good option, which is right there. And the lunch tray over here, we have the lunch tray, which signifies students who don't have the access to food. So a large barrier is financial means. So for those who do have free or reduced lunch, when they go home during the weekends, they don't have school. So the thought of what are they going to eat during the weekends or summertime plays a huge role in their health and wellness overall. So this includes like parents giving food drives or the school setting up food drives for families to donate to the families to donate for families who don't have the means to purchase as much food or as much healthy food. The next we have a fruit basket, which is usually placed right by the register. I really like this because when you it made me think of like going to a convenience store or like a grocery store. Right when you're in line to pay for all of your food, they have like gum and a bunch of different sugary foods, which they kind of grab your attention. So I like the fact that they put the fruit there because when you are going to check out after you got all the food that you need, it kind of just gives you another reminder to say like, oh, hey, you might want to try an orange or something like that. And then competitive foods is another component, which over here plays a key role because this gives healthier alternatives. So instead of Lay's potato chips, maybe they might have baked chips. And just to give some more explanation for the VHS, I found 2 references or additional research. So one study found that sending newsletters and informing parents and children on the healthy meal choices in schools, it increased their consumption of healthy foods. This reiterates the environment and the family involvement. When parents receive these newsletters about healthier choices in the cafeteria, they can kind of educate their children on when they are getting lunch, what foods they should focus on. And Strong for Life School Nutrition Program promotes healthy eating in school cafeterias in Georgia by training school nutrition managers and staff members to implement changes for students to make healthier choices. And as a result, from pre-training to post-training, after surveys were taken, they found an increased knowledge of strategies for enhancing taste perception through creative menus and increased understanding of food placement and lunch line to influence food selection, which are both components that we discussed in the cafeteria model in the previous slide. And these are the references that I used.